Denella Ri'chard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits, eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
From the bondage of slavery to the halls of power, we've overcome and broken you can't and placed ourselves in arenas our past said we'd never see, because we can. We stand on the shoulders of giants, those who fought for our rights and freedoms, like Harriet Tubman, who led slaves to freedom, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who fought for civil rights. We celebrate the creativity and artistry of those like Langston Hughes, who gave an outlet to many of those without a voice. And Maya Angelou, who inspired us to still rise above regardless of the opposition. Barrier-breaking trailblazers like Shirley Chisholm, the first Black woman elected to Congress, and Barack Obama, the first Black president of the United States. The journey continues. We remember, honor, and build upon the sacrifices of those who came before us, not only to carry their legacies forward, but also to use our unwavering faith and love to create a better world for generations to come. Welcome to our 1-hour special. I'm your host, Denella Ri'chard. In the last year, we've had the privilege of traveling to and filming many amazing destinations, but some of them stood out more than others for their significance in Black history. So during our time together, we'll journey to destinations that are not only beautiful and inspiring, but also rich in stories and lessons that we will never forget. From the southern United States to the north, you'll experience resilience, creativity, and triumphs that celebrate the rich tapestry of overcoming. This isn't just about destinations to add to your living list, but the heritage and depth of events that led us to today. So come along with me, grab your passport to history, and get ready for an inspiring journey through time. Montgomery, Alabama isn't just a destination. It's a living testament of the struggles and triumphs that helped define the nation. Known for the Montgomery bus boycott, this social protest against racial segregation became one of the most monumental and tumultuous times of the civil rights movement. Every story and every moment starts with an event that rendered action. In this instance, Rosa Parks, an African-American seamstress, refused to give up her seat on the public bus to accommodate a white passenger. This courageous act may have temporarily resulted in a mugshot and booking into jail, but it was also the beginning of a movement that made a lasting impact in the fight for justice and equality. Lasting over a year, this historic protest for some of the most basic civil rights of African Americans helped place Montgomery on the map and also brought nationwide attention to the racial disparities of the 1950s.
So, Danella, you probably know who this woman is.
Absolutely, Miss Rosa Parks.
Yes, ma'am. So Rosa Parks is really important to the history of Montgomery, but also to the nation of America. So right here, across from that fountain, Rosa Parks on December 1st, 1955, gets on a bus, and when she gets on that bus, she refuses to give up her seat. Here in Montgomery, there was a city ordinance that black people had to sit in the back of the bus. And if that bus was full and a white person got on the bus, it was up to one of those black people to have to give up their seat. Well, a white man gets on the bus and approaches Rosa Parks and asks her to give up her seat, and of course, she says no. What most people don't know is that it was black women that were really important to the civil rights movement, because there was a group called the Women's Political Council in 1955 that started holding small boycotts of Montgomery buses all the way up until Rosa Parks on December 1st. So you probably heard of a woman named Claudette Colvin.
Absolutely.
You've probably heard of another woman named Susie McDonald. And those women really served and really showed the men of the community that this boycott and that this pressure was needed to make change happen for black citizens.
And thank you for recognizing those women. Because so many times we talked about, Dr. King, or we talk about Abernathy, or we talk about John Lewis, but sometimes we forget to recognize those leading ladies.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I'm about to meet up with Valerie Smedley, the owner of Tours of Montgomery.
Well, hello, Danella. Welcome to Montgomery, Alabama. We're now here at Tours of Montgomery. We're actually at the corner of High and Jackson. And the significance of this intersection and High and Jackson is this is where a lot of things happen regarding the bus boycott. Most people come to Montgomery to learn about the bus boycott. So if they come to the corner of High and Jackson, this is the place to learn anything they want to know about the meetings, about what Dr. Martin Luther King did, and things of that nature. So we're so proud of this corner, and I'm right here to give you a gracious tour of Montgomery, Alabama.
Who stood with Dr. King in March that day?
We had Ralph Abernathy, and we had the famous John Lewis.
Good trouble.
Good trouble. John Lewis said that if I'm going to get in trouble, let's get in good trouble. His headquarters was right over here across the street.
Wow.
And so he came out of there and met up with Dr. Martin Luther King. And you probably have seen the picture of him. They're all marching arm
Yes,
in arm,
yes.
arm in arm,
Yes.
showing unity.
Yes.
That started right here at this intersection.
My name is Michelle Browder. I am the creator of the Mothers of Gynecology Monument here in Montgomery, Alabama. I created a monument to honor 3 enslaved girls that were used as experimentations in the early 1840s. And we are using this particular monument to amplify the voices of maternal health and what's happening right now today. So come see us in Montgomery, Alabama.
Dr. Robinson, thank you so much for meeting up with me here at Alabama State University. Now, I know there were some pivotal defining moments that started here on this campus. Tell me about some of those.
Clearly, you could argue that the civil rights movement, as we know it in the United States, had its origins in Montgomery with the Montgomery bus boycott. After the arrest of Rosa Parks, had its origins here on this campus. And so women with the Women's Political Council, particularly Professor Joanne Robinson, ran off flyers announcing a bus boycott. But then you have several other episodes, the sit-in movement, student sit-in movement. Alabama State students participated in that. The Freedom Rides intersected this campus. Actually, there was a press conference that occurred in the house of Ralph David Abernathy, who was with the Montgomery Improvement Association at the time. His house is on this campus, and we interpret that event. So, and then student activists, and then with the Selma to Montgomery March, and really the students played such a pivotal role in that episode that we were able to convince the National Park Service that the Alabama State University was the most appropriate place to put an interpretive center looking at celebrating the 1965 voting rights campaign in the Selma to Montgomery March.
Now that is interesting that you have a National Parks designation here. So when people are visiting here, why should they stop by and visit?
Well, this is a dynamic story. The voting rights story is a dynamic story. And many times we think about this march from Selma to Montgomery highlighting the need to extend voting rights to all Americans. But people don't know or don't really focus on is how pivotal the students were in that campaign. And so student activists with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee organized students at Tuskegee, students at Alabama State, really organized students from all over the nation. So you had thousands of students all over the nation either descend on Montgomery. 4,000 students came to Montgomery. Go to Washington, D.C. at the direction of SNCC. About 14,000 students went to Washington, D.C. and protested. And then you had protests sprout up all over the nation, all coordinated by students. And so this facility tells that story, tells the story of young people, not only college students, but high school students who participated in this movement to secure the right to vote for all Americans.
Alabama State University is a historically Black college and university, right?
Certainly.
Absolutely. Well, I know something a little bit about that because I went to Southern University.
I understand. I understand.
Well, I tell you, there's a HBCU game taking place tomorrow. So, Alabama State versus who?
Southern University. Yes,
We're going to see who's going to win that game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Not only the game, but the band also.
The band, absolutely, because you know that human jukebox. Yeah, we legendary.
It's going to be tough.
It's a great time to be here in Montgomery. It is the HBCU Classic Weekend, and right now it's the Labor Day Classic. ASU versus SU. That's Alabama State University versus my alumni, Southern University. It's going down.
In 1957, less than a complete year after the conclusion of the Montgomery bus boycott, 9 brave Black students made history by being enrolled at Little Rock Central High School, the first public school in Arkansas to be integrated. Despite constant harassment, violence, and discrimination, the Little Rock 9 persevered and paved the way for racial equality in education.
Today I'm at a place that I always read about in the history books, Little Rock Central High School. And I'm meeting up with Ranger Randy to find out about what really happened with the Little Rock 9.
Danella, imagine it's 1957, September the 25th, you're 15 years old, and you are about to meet an angry mob of people all alone. The only person of your color, and you're terrified. And this street is packed with angry white citizens that don't want you here. But you've been told by the governor that you all are allowed to come. You've been mistaken. He really don't want you here, and he's brought troops to keep you all out. But he made it sound like he was protecting citizens, but he really wasn't protecting the black citizens.
So how did they determine the Little Rock Nine?
Oh, that's a good question. The Little Rock Nine actually started with about 200 black kids that had volunteered from Horace Mann High School. Now, the Little Rock Nine, they all knew each other because they went to school together. But what happens is the school board that didn't want any black children, they made requirements for the black kids. They made 3 requirements for them. So they told them, say, you have to have a 3.8 or better grade point average. And some of the numbers fell. Then the second thing was they had to be a perfect student, meaning you couldn't have been in any trouble. You couldn't have missed any days of school. You couldn't even have been written up for chewing gum. So the number fell. And then the third requirement was that if you did go, you couldn't participate in any extracurricular activities. You couldn't play any sports. You couldn't go to the prom. You couldn't join the band. You couldn't join any clubs. You couldn't go to football games. And then they wouldn't even give them buses.
Wow.
And so the number drops to 17. And now that 17's personal information that they signed up with, their names, the address, the telephone number, parents' names, got released to the newspaper. So the Ku Klux Klan terrorized these families. They shot their houses up. They burned crosses in their yards. And then they threatened their parents with their jobs. So the number drops to 10. And so now this 10, they're called into the superintendent's office with their parents. And he's giving them one more requirement. Now they are required to not retaliate under any circumstances. They can't fight back. And there are 1,800 white students here that know they can't fight back. And those 10 children still said they wanted to go. And so that's how you get to 10. Now the one that come out, her name was Jane Hill. Mm-hmm. After the first day, her parents saw the news and saw what happened, so they pulled her out. So that's how we get to 9.
Okay. So when you think about it, we sent the best and the brightest of our children to help integrate this school.
Correct.
You know, and when you think about the bravery, the faith, they had to walk amongst, right?
Yes.
The angry mob.
Right.
Still with the one desire
right.
to get an education.
That's it. What it was all about.
Right? That's what it was all about. I just want to say thank you to you. Thank you to the Little Rock Nine for their bravery to open doors for the next generation.
Right.
And they, you know, and hopefully not only black children, but all children.
That's it.
Understand where we were in 1957.
Correct.
And how far we've come.
That's right. And I take it that I'm very passionate about it. I'm very serious about this. I take this personally because I think who better to tell our story than me? A black person, you know, I was part of the integration to the elementaries when that started here in 72. So I want people to know the story, not what they think, but what actually happened. So that's why I'm very serious about this, and I want as many people to know about what happened here as I can get. So if you can remember something, you can tell somebody else something, and they can tell somebody else. That way the story goes. And so I've been entrusted with this story by some of the 9 to tell it, and I tell it.
And you do a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Today, Little Rock pays tribute to the Little Rock Nine with a National Historic Site that preserves their story, a museum that showcases their impact, and a garden that honors their courage. This city is a living museum of civil rights history, where you can also experience its diverse culture and heritage, where the past and the present come together in harmony.
Hey, Danella, I'm Key.
Oh, Key, so nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
listen, thank you so much for coming to our museum. We're super excited for you to be here. I had a lot of stuff to show you today.
Well, I'm excited because I'm told, of course, it's the only African-American museum in the state of Arkansas. First impression is everything. I can't wait to see the rest.
I can't wait to show it to you.
All right.
Let's check out.
All right.
So as we go upstairs and check out the auditorium, a lot of people always notice that we're surrounded by all this amazing art. It's important for us to tell the history, but we also want to tell the present. The way that we do that is highlighting African-American artists. This piece is by Danny Broadway. I really like it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Definitely don't want people to miss on our third floor, our Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. Every year, people are inducted to the Black Hall of Fame who have made great contributions to our world who are from Arkansas. So there are a lot of people from Arkansas that people don't even know. Of course, like famous Dr. Maya Angelou is from Arkansas. And so this is where we display our living history, the inductees of the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame.
Amazing.
It's one of my favorite spaces.
Oh, look how beautiful. It's so colorful and vibrant and so welcoming for kids.
It is a representation of all children. It's what we like. Every child should be able to walk in and see an example of themselves, just like we feel like it should be in life.
Oh, wow. This is so cool because I'm amazing too. Because I'm brave, I'm thoughtful, and yeah, I'm kind of silly too. I'm in downtown Little Rock and I gotta check out the food scene. I'm told Fat Jaws has the best Southern food. I'm talking about catfish, oxtails, and so much more. Let's go check it out. Hey, Chef.
What's up, Danella?
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. What you cooking?
I'm cooking you up some fish tacos.
All right. What kind of fish?
Catfish, farm raised.
Ooh, I love catfish.
All right, I got
All
you
right, can I
covered.
help you?
No. You can help me go out and enjoy that vibe. Get out of my kitchen.
All right, because the music is nice. All right, I'll be out there waiting.
All right, I got you coming.
Okay.
And voila, there you have it. Collard greens and catfish tacos.
We've explored the rich and diverse culture of Little Rock, Arkansas. From the brave students of the Little Rock Nine, who diligently changed segregation at Central High School, to the vibrant art, music, and food scene that celebrates Black excellence. Little Rock is a city that uses its beauty and charm to honor its past and embrace its future. Whether you're looking for history, entertainment, or relaxation, you'll find something for everyone in this remarkable city. Next, we take you to Jackson, the heart and capital of Mississippi, where we explore the landmarks, legends, and legacy of this fascinating place and discover how the scars of the past have inspired the resilience and spirit that continue to shape its future.
Hi, my name is Chris DiGiovanni. I'm a park ranger at the Medgar Evers Home National Monument here in Jackson, Mississippi. We get to tell a story of one of the most important civil rights leaders in American history, Medgar Evers, and the folks supported him, his wife Murray, and his kids Rena, Daryl, and James. When the Evers moved here in the 1950s, they custom built this house so that everything would be safe for the family inside from the white supremacist society that was Mississippi. Okay, Danella, so this is the living room of the Medgar Evers Home National Monument. You can see here, think about the people that have walked through that door, right? People like James Baldwin, and James Meredith, the first Black man to integrate the University of Mississippi. Lena Horne, right? Wow. And even as we think about this place and people gathered and existed together, we also have the reality of this white supremacy, right? And so when the bullet goes through Medgar's body, it'll then go through that window right there and travel across this living room to that hole over here. And will actually pierce that hole. Beyond that wall is the kitchen. It went through that window, through that wall, and then actually went through this kitchen. And there was another fridge here, and it ricocheted off that fridge and landed right about here next to the range.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I'm about to check out the two Mississippi museums. The Mississippi Civil Rights Museum shares the stories that change the nation.
Danella, we're going to start right here with Emmett Till. The story of this 14-year-old boy, and I say boy because people throughout the years have always said this Emmett Till a man, but he was a 14-year-old boy who had come to visit his uncle in the Delta of Mississippi. And of course, him being from Chicago, you know, we want to be the big kid on the block and what have you, but for him to be able to go to a grocery store, to go in, and the conversation that he and the young lady had, I would never know. The next morning, they came to his house, they took him, and when they took him to Glendora, Mississippi. They beat him, they did all these things to him. They connected him to a cotton gin fan and put his body in the Tallahatchie River. And what did his mom do afterwards? They took his body to Chicago, and she allowed Chicago to see this, and all over the world to see his mutilated body. And we have to praise her for that.
To the people who say, is Black history really important? Why do we need Black history when we already have American history? What do you say to the people that say, is Black history really important?
History is important. Our history is important. We've lost a lot of our history. So whatever we're able to do as far as telling about our ancestors, it's our job to do it because we pass on the knowledge to others.
Absolutely, absolutely. By laying down their lives for the noble cause of civil rights, Evers and Till have become immortal symbols of hope and courage for better days. Their stories echo through history as powerful reminders of the sacrifices and opposition that fueled the civil rights movement. My next stop is a visit to Malaco Records, home of the legendary Mississippi Mass Choir. So Jerry, some friends told me I could not come here to Jackson and not stop by Malaco Records.
Well, they told you the truth. You have to come by Malaco. This really is, when you talk about blues and gospel, this is like the Mecca. You know, all of the greats, blues and gospel have recorded here, come through here.
Like who? Who's recorded here,
you
Jerry?
Talk about Z.Z. Hill, Down Home Blues, Bobby Blue Bland, Johnny Taylor, Little Milton, Denise LaSalle, and just up and down. And those who were not with the label, from a B.B. King, all of them came through to record.
Wow.
And so Malaco just one of those studios that has a sound that cannot be replicated.
So, of course, Johnny Taylor is near and dear to my heart. I grew up listening to Johnny Taylor. That's my mother's favorite. And one of my favorite songs, of course, is Soul Heaven. But like you say, my mom and my daddy liked, it's cheaper to keep her.
Cheaper to keep her. And then Jody's Got Your Girl and Gone. And I actually came here as a songwriter. And, you know, here in Mississippi, because of the economics and all of the racial segregation thing that was going on back in the 50s and 60s, a lot of our artists left and went to other cities who claimed them as their own. You know, but Mississippi is really
where a lot of them started.
Right here.
Homegrown.
Right. That's it.
All right. Now, what about the Mississippi Mass Choir? They've done some recording here as well?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I could really say that the choir was birthed here. Frank Williams at the time was the executive director of the gospel division, had been recording other choirs, Florida Mass, Georgia Mass, New Jersey, all over the country, and he knew the talent that was here, and he said, I need to form a choir of Mississippi singers. So in 1988, the clarion call went out, about 150 people came together. We recorded in October of that year. Project was released in January, when #1 in the country, stayed 48 consecutive weeks.
No trip to Jackson is complete without a visit to Jackson State University to experience the sonic boom of the South. When visiting the Two Mississippi Museum, you also have to check out Chef Nick, who won season 34 of Chopped. And he's been voted Best Chef in Jackson 4 years in a row.
Danella, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm Nick Wallace. And we're here at the Nissan Cafe by Nick Wallace, located in the Mississippi 2 Museums.
Okay.
You ready to cook?
I am. So what are we cooking today?
So we're gonna do some chicken and grits. So we're here in Mississippi. Traditionally, they like to do shrimp and grits.
Yes.
My grandmother, honestly, always cooked like chicken and grits, pork and grits. So we're gonna give you some of that soul today.
All right, we're gonna do a little bit of twist.
We're gonna do a little bit of twist. It's gonna have some really good heirloom tomatoes, a lot of spinach. I think you're allergic to shrimp, right?
I am. So thanks for the chicken and grits.
Yeah, no problem at all. But I think you're gonna love it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it. I can act as your sous chef too, so I'm gonna let you take the lead.
That'll work.
So you can go ahead and add like 5 or 6 pieces of chicken into this skillet. One good spoonful of the red onions.
A nice little heaping.
There you go. And then you can go over to the tomatoes, and you can do a couple spoonfuls of the tomatoes. You know, you can't
get a little color.
Yeah, you can't get enough of those. And then probably a couple spoonfuls of the mushrooms too. So you can go ahead and place it down on an induction burner.
Okay.
And you can go ahead and add in probably a half a spoon of those green onions in there.
Okay. Uh-oh, I'm making a little bit of a mess.
It's all right.
All right.
All right.
All right, that'll work.
So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna just turn it up just a bit.
Like this one.
Jackson, the city with soul, where you can taste the flavors of their diverse cuisine, listen to the rhythms of their music, explore the wonders of their museums, and visit the landmarks of their history. All of these are part of their destination's soulful legacy that have contributed to American culture and history. Pack your bags, we're off to Boston. Did you know that one of the greatest leaders of our time, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., lived in this city for a while? Boston, more than just its tea party, clam chowder, and lobster rolls. It's a place of history, transformation, and where 2 of the most influential Black leaders of change left their mark. Come with me as I take you to 2 of the most iconic neighborhoods in Boston, Beacon Hill and Roxbury. Across the city, Roxbury is a lively and diverse neighborhood where many African Americans have made their home and created generational wealth.
Hi, Danella. Welcome to Roxbury, the epicenter of Black culture since the 1960s. This is our first stop on the tour. This is the Roxbury Love Story mural that was created by Rob Pro-Black Gibbs and Leonardo Ortega. This is really a really important mural for us because Dr. Martin Luther King spent a lot of time in Roxbury. He graduated from Boston University, spent time in Roxbury South End, and actually preached in the space that we are right now. This is a place where Coretta Scott King actually sang in the choir. She actually went to the Newland Conservatory in the South End as well. And so they say that this is where, you know, they actually met at 12th Baptist Church. Right here in Roxbury.
Where Dr. King got his voice and found his love.
That's right, absolutely. And so it's such an important mural to be able to show on the tour because I think a lot of people don't realize how important Martin Luther King's legacy is to the Roxbury area. So here we are at the Faces of Dudley mural. It is the mural that encapsulates the history of Roxbury and Nubian Square. So on the first part, we have Melnia Cass, who was a huge figure when we talk about taking care of mothers and children. We have the Bowling Center here too, that talks about Bruce Bowling and his family, which is a huge political black family within the city of Boston. We have the Banner here, which is a neighborhood newspaper that was started in 1965. This is really what we're talking about black culture is really important here. So we have Dr. Elma Lewis here, who was big into the arts and culture within the area. And last but not least, we have Malcolm Little, who became Malcolm X. You know, really loved this area and really had his maturation here from becoming a young man into the activist that he eventually became to change the world. So
that's amazing. So you guys had Dr. King right here in Roxbury. You had Malcolm X right here in Roxbury, right? Wow.
Yes.
Right now, I'm headed to the Museum of African American History. It's located on Beacon Hill. This is the area that was home to a prosperous African American community in the 19th century. The museum is located steps away from the Massachusetts State House. Here, you'll discover important stories of African Americans who changed the course of American history in the 18th and 19th centuries. Connect to inspiring, authentic representations of African American life during this period in a unique place where Black communities organize and advance the cause of freedom.
Maury, I'm so excited to be here in Boston, and I was told about the Embrace Monument and that I had to stop by here. So can you tell me the story about the Embrace?
Well, I'm so glad you're at Boston in our city. Welcome back home. The Embrace sits in Boston Common, which is America's oldest public park. And it really memorializes not only Dr. and Coretta Scott King, but 69 other civil rights leaders who served in Boston during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So many people don't know that the Kings actually met in Boston. I think if you ask the average person,
did not know that.
They probably thought they were from Atlanta,
Yeah.
but they met here. And they were both college students. They fell in love, and they really thought about and derived the movement from our city. And so we're happy that we got to memorialize their impact not only to Boston, but to the world.
So why do you think it's important that people come here and see and experience this beautiful monument?
You know, in the middle of the pandemic, there was a racial reckoning, right? And I would argue that there's 4 cities that tell the story of America: Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and Washington, D.C. And so as Boston is wrestling with the aftermath of the racial reckoning of 2020 and really telling a different story about itself, a more inclusive story, and a story that includes Black leaders, I think as one of America's storytelling cities, it gives America permission to tell a different story about itself. And so as people come to Boston to learn about the Boston Tea Party and Paul Revere's Ride and Crispus Attucks, you know, the first martyr, a Black man, the first martyr of the American Revolution, we hope they hear a more comprehensive and inclusive story about America, a story that includes Black folks, Indigenous folks, Asians, people of Jewish origins, an inclusive story about America. So that's why it's important that the Embrace is here.
What a journey this has been. As we draw the curtains on this illuminating voyage through the rich tapestry of Black history during this special month of celebration, let's carry the torch of wisdom into the future. Understanding that the past is a significant part of the compass that guides us towards a more inclusive, equitable, and compassionate future. The stories of resilience and triumph were witnessed, served as beacons of inspiration, urging us to be the change we wish to see. Together, we can continue to build a legacy that inspires generations to come. Thank you for joining me on this powerful exploration of Black history, a journey that continues to shape the fabric of our shared humanity. Let us walk forward with purpose, united in our commitment to a world where every story is heard, every voice matters, and every dream has the chance to flourish. The more I travel the world, the more I appreciate how our similarities far exceed our differences. We are all so much the same in the way we laugh, the way we cry, and the way we love. For each person I can inspire to travel the world and to experience a different culture, and yet appreciate our kinship, we become one step closer to eradicating the ugliness of racism and discrimination so that we can elevate the beauty in discovering our shared humanity.
Travel the world with Danella Ri'chard. Travel the world with Danella Ri'chard. Travel